Okay, morning everybody. All right, let's get started. All right, the S&P made quite a comeback last night after being down over 10 points. We saw the FTSE and S&P under pressure for most of the day, but over the US session we got a little bit of strength. The reason for the initial sell-off was the European Commission cutting its forecast for economic growth to 1.1% from 1.2%. But then after the ISM non-manufacturing index came well ahead of forecasts, it looked like things bounced into the close. But as you can see, S&P futures and FTSE futures are having a nice start this morning. And Japanese stocks are leading the gains in Asia as a weaker Japanese yen supports export stocks there. And elsewhere in Asia, stocks are trading mixed, with miners in Australia continuing a strong performance. I think I saw Billy's in Aussie up 0.6%, which seem to be lagging in the short term a little bit against Billy's in London and over here, but still pretty solid every day there. Then our corporate action today, we've got Mediclinic earnings came out in line with guidance. Revenue a slight beat, dividends per share a bit light. It's saying they said exchange rates had a significant positive impact, which I guess is lucky for them, as they only sort of just came in line. But I think they're still, I think Claudia just sent me a message saying the expectations that this is still a solid operation and the company is becoming more and more attractive rand hedge play, with international businesses doing well in Dubai and Switzerland. So still solid there. I think people will still be looking to buy Mediclinic. Anglo Gold came out as well this morning. Headline earnings per share in line. Gold production up 12%, and total cash costs down 10%. So at first look, it looks like a decent, if not in line, but decent number. I think it was in line with Bloomberg expectations, but apparently better than Standard Bank expectations. So we're going to have a look at a chart of that one later and see if it's not worth a buy. Mondi coming out at 10 o'clock, Old Mutual coming out at 11 o'clock. And the key factors today, 10 o'clock we've got Halifax house prices out of the UK, PMI out of most of Europe, UK industrial production at 11:30 and manufacturing production at 11:30 as well. SA Saki business confidence, 12 o'clock European retail sales, 1 o'clock German factory orders. At 2 o'clock we've got MBA mortgage applications, and at 5 o'clock we've got US leading index. All right, let's have a look at some of the charts. I'll start off with pound ZAR. When I last did the meeting, I think it was last Friday, we were looking at this break off support here on this rising wedge in the pound ZAR, and we've seen the rand really weaken since then, or the pound strengthen. If we draw a resistance in line here on this rising wedge, we've got resistance coming in around 1665. We could possibly look for a little bit of a reversal off that level. Hopefully it doesn't get that low, but if you are bullish the rand, or you want to try and sell off resistance, 1665 looks like the level. All right, let's have a look at Anglos. I know Joe showed these charts on Monday, I think it was. Let's just look at a sort of a big weekly point of view here. We had this head and shoulders that broke out of a while ago. And we've been flirting with this line, as Joe showed recently, this resistance line. Obviously, yesterday we had this big break above it. Traded very well in London, and obviously the rand helped it a lot, weakening. UK, Anglos in UK looks similar, except not quite as bullish, obviously, with the rand factor. We look at the same chart on Billy's. Joe showed this as a potential breakout on Monday. We really got that breakout yesterday. Closed just below 323, I think. And as you can see on the sort of bigger picture view, we've been forming this ascending triangle over the longer term, and is now breaking up. So I think again, we're going to be looking to buy this thing on pullbacks. If we do get a little bit of pullback in this market, which I don't think will ever come, but if we do, then we can look at, if we'd have to look for a reversal up from this sort of 300 level possibly as a good entry point. But in my mind, this is decisive breakout, and we can look to be significant higher sort of going into next year. All right, let's have a look at Impalas. Another one. I'm focusing on these commodity stocks that really outperformed yesterday. If we look at Impalas, let me just go down to a 2-year chart. All right, so we had this big rounded bottom, and we've been looking to form this a bit of a sort of a handle of the rounded bottom. We broke up yesterday. I would say to break out of the big picture pattern, we'd need to break above 132. But we have broken out of the wedge for the moment. So it looks like 132 would be our first sort of target on Impalas. Once it gets there, we'll reassess to see if we've got enough momentum to drive it through. If it does break, the bigger picture pattern, could be as large as sort of 170 on the upside. But we'll obviously update that as we go. Amplats, while we're in the same sector, similar looking chart. We've had this sort of roundish bottom, been flagging a little bit. Not quite as nice as Impalas, but we found support at this 400 level. I think Joe was showing this level yesterday. Let's look at a breakout above sort of 430, I would say, for a move out of this descending triangle to the upside. All right, CFR, another one we've been following quite a bit. It hasn't been as simple to play. It's had a lot of sort of breakouts and sort of lost momentum. But if we want to look at support, we're looking at just below 100, 98, I would say. On the upside, we have actually broken out, and we've been consolidating right above that line. I believe they report on Friday, so this could be the catalyst for the next move higher. If we measure the height of this symmetrical triangle, we would from 105 to 96, we're looking for a target of around 111, 112, somewhere in that vicinity on the move up. So we're still cautiously optimistic on CFR to reach those levels, but obviously Friday's report is going to be important. And then last one we're going to have a look at is Anglo Gold. We saw those numbers came out today. They've been forming a little bit of a double bottom recently and come off. We're now sitting right on the 20-day moving average, reversal of this level, which we'll see if the earnings are good enough to get a reversal. They were really under pressure yesterday, but if we do get a reversal today, that could be a good buying entry to complete the target of this double bottom, which could be sort of I would say possibly 170ish or so. So let's even look for a target which would come in at the 200-day moving average. So let's look for a target of 170 if we can get a good reversal day out today. And then one last thing, you can catch Claudius live on Business Day TV today doing a market recap at 6 o'clock. So everyone tune in for that. That's all for today, guys. Good luck.